Hello, everyone. We're here to play some Vampire the Masquerade. Before I get into all of my other spiel, just as a reminder, or if this is your first time watching a Vampire the Masquerade stream, Vampire can be a violent, sometimes upsetting game, full of horrible, horrible monsters. So if that does not sound like your kind of thing, we will catch you next stream. If at any point you are feeling uncomfortable about anything as a viewer, feel free to pause the stream, step away for a little bit, and come back to it. Or if you think that it's going to be too upsetting, again, we will catch you next stream. We will have some more wholesome stuff tomorrow and on Sunday. Saturday will be more werewolf, more violent, potentially upsetting stuff as well. But yeah, that is my little trigger warning for this, that there are some potentially upsetting themes. As we have been doing for the past month and a half, which is wild to think about, we are still raising money for the Trans Empowerment Project. We have a few more days left. We are not quite to our final goal, which is $4,000. We are currently at $32.29. So we got a little ways, but we can do it. So throughout this stream, you can donate to influence the game, to give players or me rerolls, to heal characters or NPCs, anything like that, or just go and donate, because Trans Empowerment Project is fantastic. We love them a lot. They do amazing things for the 2TIGE community. And my last thing, and then I will shut up for a little bit, and then let my lovely players introduce themselves. Before we get into anything else, I want to acknowledge that there is a lack of diversity in the TTRPG space, and that we are aware that our group tonight is less racially diverse than we would like, but all of our players here represent other marginalized groups. And we have our prioritization tool that makes BIPOC folks, 2TIGE individuals, our highest priorities in casting. This is who signed up, though. This is who we have. And we have a very wonderful group that we're excited to play with. We always encourage any BIPOC, 2TIGE, or other marginalized groups to apply to play in our games, and we would love to have you. So, with that, I'm going to shut up now. Abigail, since you were here last night, would you like to start us off and tell us who you are, where we can find you? And then if you want to pick who follows you.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Abhorrent Abby. So just Abigail. My Blue Sky handle is Abhorrent Abby. I do TTRPG things. I've done streaming, podcasts. I was a founding member of Tabletop Potluck, which is no longer updating, but still awesome to listen to. I encourage you to go take a look at it. I also am a pro game master. You can engage my services at roughmagicgames.com. We do in-person and online games. Right now I am offering campaigns of Blades in the Dark and The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. If you like what you see here today, I encourage you to go check out me and our other fantastic GMs there. And I will pass it over to Melon.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Melon. I use they, he, they pronouns. And I run the Melon Patch. I am a cozy gamer with a taste for French press coffee and black band teas. I play cozy, chaotic, and cozy chaotic games. All of my links are on melonao on .card.co. So that's all for me.
Yeah,
I'll go with Blonde.
Tonight will not be very cozy, but
no,
chaos probably
chaos.
is pretty
That's a bit of a change there.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, though, Melon. What were you saying?
Good. Just passing it off to Blonde.
Perfect.
Hello, I am that one blonde nerd on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, and ADH Adventures on Twitch. I am the owner and creative director of ADH Adventures, which is a neurodivergency, invisible disability, and mental health advocacy channel focused on intersectionality. Yeah, we are going to be live at Gen Con for our first year this year. We've been on the main stage and stream stages. And this year we are up for the Best Legacy Twitch Channel in the Crit Awards, the Creator Recognition and TTRPGs Awards. which is insane and super cool. So anyway, if you're voting, if you like that stuff, come stop by. And outside of when they're fundraising here, feel free to come join us and say hi on ADH Adventures. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, I do cosplay TTRPGs, write TTRPGs, produce graphic design. I do a lot of nonsense in the TTRPG world, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm so excited to be able to participate in this project.
All right. Last but not least.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's me. Hello, I'm Andrew, the Teller of Tales. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and on twitch.tv/ADH Adventures with Blood here, where I am the Teller of Tales. Occasionally on Wednesday nights for one-shots. Every other Friday, including this Friday, for our second episode of our Exalted game that we just started. That's our first non-D&D game, as we are rapidly moving away from D&D. Saturdays and Sundays for our time travel, drama-fueled therapy session, The Tale That Never Was. Other than that, I occasionally make TikTok content, and I'm running my own TTRPG, and ask me.
Fantastic.
I'm the forever GM, very happily. This is one of the
you can find me there.
Yeah.
On those days, playing in those games. I don't need my game on Tuesdays.
And forever GM except for tonight.
Yeah.
And Blonde, we will actually cut back to you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your character? Because you are kind of central to the introduction of the story, at least.
Oh. Now I feel both self-conscious and excited. Okay. Hello.
You were the one who put that idea out there, so I'm just
that is true. You know what? That is fair. That's fair. So Colibri Dolce is an Italian vampire. She grew up in Rome at the advent of the rise of second phase feminism, and very much wanted to get involved in that. Grew up in a very oppressive, very controlling household, and wanted to get out as quickly as possible, and ran away at 17, determined to prove that she could make it on her own. Soon after she left, she met a mysterious stranger, somebody she'd kind of seen around Rome, but not much, who recommended she head up more to the north of Italy. She worked some odd jobs, restaurants, laundry and stuff, got very involved in the women's rights movement, and really got frustrated with the lack of options and resources. And eventually, the person that sent her up north, this mysterious stranger, recommended she and some friends go work somewhere else where they could have a little more stable housing and do odd jobs and be more able to do their rabble rousing, their advocacy stuff. And so she was there for a while, and then kind of reaching the peak of frustration and feeling powerless and frustrated, he came back and offered an embrace, and she took it. And not too long after, she moved to Marseille, made kindred friends there, lived there pretty happily for a while until the advent of the Second Inquisition, which Marseille was one of the main places they targeted. So getting away from Rome was not good enough. And as a bunch of her friends were disappearing, the stranger appeared again and offered a deal in exchange for taking her back to the US, which she took, not totally understanding the terms and conditions. And has lived in New York City in the massive building, the penthouse or the high-rise, I guess, that this benefactor owns, working for him, doing odd jobs, negotiations, and helping him to try to achieve his lofty plans via many different methods. Negotiation, crime, whatever it is. And she is stuck there. Doing that and working for him, at least for now. And that is her life. And she wants nothing more than to get away and finally be free.
And fortunately for Colibri, she was able to get free, at least temporarily, being sent to Chicago by this mysterious benefactor. Whereupon you made some other kindred friends. Emerson, you want to tell us a little bit about your character?
Absolutely. Emerson Day was a rising chef in Chicago. She was determined from a very young age to become a Michelin-starred chef, and she was well on her way to getting there until a until she was noticed by a Nosferatu kindred who decided to embrace her and make her his personal chef, because he was one of the few vampires who could actually eat and taste human food. Emerson was not so lucky, so she was forced to, for many years, to cook food that she could not taste, that she could not digest. Eventually, her sire got by the Second Inquisition, leaving Emerson free to return to her original goal, working the night shift at a not a Michelin-starred restaurant, but hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I think it said, and we don't have to go with this. I think in the backstory, it was actually a Chinese restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's fine. I just wasn't sure if that's what we were going with.
Yeah. And so, how would you have met Calibri? How do you think?
That's a good question. I think. Oh wait, I do know, because I remember, Blonde, you mentioned that Calibri had worked at a restaurant for a while, and I think if Emerson heard, oh, there's a kindred in this city who worked in a kitchen in Italy, Emerson would be like, I need to meet this person.
Even if it's not like a Michelin rated restaurant or anything, it's
in Italy.
Exactly. Oh, you're muted, Blonde. Oh, Blonde, you were muted.
Sorry. Me trying to not accidentally make noise, forget I need to turn it on when I talk. No, that fits perfectly. And whatever restaurant I've been to Italy a couple of times, I've yet to meet an Italian who cannot cook amazingly. Several. So that's fair. I don't know if it has to be a starred restaurant. I also would like to pick the brain of more Italian chefs.
Absolutely valid. And I think I'm going to leave this to both Janice and Arthur. How would the two of you know the rest of our group?
I can go. So Miss Janice spends a lot of time when she's not lurking in her old school. She spends a lot of time combing museums. And so probably what happened is she stumbled upon Calibri in one of the Chicago art museums, and they got to talking about feminist artists. Like, let me remember, Barbara Kruger or Cindy Sherman, and they just became really fast friends.
Yeah, always the pressure is on whenever I'm like trying to remember something on stream. And me currently being off of my ADHD meds because, stupid Adderall shortage finally caught up to me. So, here we are.
Always
But
fun.
yeah, it's a great time. No, I think that's fantastic. And I guess I'll ask the rest of the coterie. How do you think you would know Arthur?
I'm trying to remember. Okay, what was Arthur's deal again?
Yeah, actually, Andrew, why don't you refresh us on who Arthur is?
Sure. Yeah. So Arthur was originally from Canada. Served in the Canadian Army. Did 2 tours of Afghanistan. Had a bad time, as one does, and then came back. And there's sort of like question mark for the little bit of their story. And then they ended up receiving the embrace in what was supposed to be a medical study in the U.S. So they are basically autistic. They are autistic, like I am. And because being a vampire is a lot, they're in a constant state of overstimulation and constantly trying to seek ways to suppress that stimulation. And are struggling in the vampire side with the mental health and the autism more so than they ever did on the human side.
I can imagine. Yeah, that sounds like I said pre-stream. It sounds like a nightmare, to be honest. To be autistic and a kindred.
I wrote my nightmare. I was like, what sounds like the worst thing I can imagine for myself? This is it. This is it. You said this is it. This is the bad place. All right.
Yeah, this is a safe place for you to put yourself or your character in this case through hell. It's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's on fire.
It's VTM. Everything is fine. Nothing's dark or twisted or deadly.
Not
or
even a little
messed up.
bit. Yeah.
It's a happy sunshine game. These are Twilight
Absolutely.
epic.
Yeah, you're all so sparkly, so pretty. So, Calibri, you would know that your mysterious benefactor sent you a message recently saying that a Camarilla messenger went missing in Willerton, Indiana, and asked you to go and investigate and to bring that message back to them. They're very interested in what it is that the Camarilla are up to. And so that's where we find our little coterie, our chaos crew, have just recently arrived. I guess, which of you would be driving and what would you be driving is a good question.
Can I have my sports car, please?
Absolutely.
Bit 4?
Okay.
Yeah, all of it.
Cool. Calibri, her whole aesthetic is red. It has nothing to do with being a vampire. I don't know what you're talking about. And she has a nice, custom, maybe, possibly. This was a gift. Very nice Ferrari. Exactly, the red one goes faster, of course. And
Where do I get this sugar daddy?
I don't know if you want the trade-off.
as the person who has helped write that character, you don't. Also, on the question of Arthur, they're absolutely the kind of person who would fall in with the mysterious benefactor.
Unfortunate. I mean, to be fair though,
Honest.
Does Calibri recruit Arthur?
That works. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to be fair, you were embraced by Malkavians for very specific reasons. So yeah, that makes sense. It's a good time. No one's
honestly, on the scale of what of who Arthur has dealt with before this, Calibri's mysterious benefactor is down the list of awful. Like
On the sliding scale, it's a little bit different than ours.
Yeah, great on a bell curve for sure.
Great on a bell curve. Yeah. That's exactly how I describe them.
Yeah. So, Calibri, you were given some very specific directions on how to get to Willerton because the territory between Chicago and Willerton is absolutely full of lupines, which I think all of you would know, especially in this area, are mortal enemies with Kindred. Were any of these Geru to find you all, they would do their best to end your unlives. And so, you have been given directions on the Goblin Paths. Very twisting, chaotic paths that lead you to this very small town. And as you arrive, the corn almost covers the sign that says, "Welcome to Willerton. Population 665. Now, I have put a map in our group chat. What would you all be doing as far as where would you be starting your search for Everett York, who is this messenger?
I have a good feeling about this because nothing bad ever happens in small towns in the Midwest in cornfields.
Yeah,
No.
Nothing whatsoever. There's not multiple movies about it.
This isn't the premise of the solo adventure and the Call of Cthulhu starter box that you do
No.
before you learn how to play. It's not literally you are passing through small town Midwest.
Not at all. Was that Alone Among the Flames?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's that.
Because I played that one and I died. I burned to death. So
I got out.
hopefully this doesn't go the same way.
It's fair. I feel like that's a pretty normal Call of Cthulhu thing.
Yeah. But it's okay because we don't support Chaosium anymore since they hired someone who hired literal Nazis. So
Well, that
Fuck
is.
them.
Good.
fuck that.
Great.
Yeah, we're done with
All
Chaos.
right, we're just done. This is just one more reason I'm on the boat. I'm running my own. I'm running my own TTRPG with blackjack and hookers. It's
I
Yeah.
write my TTRPG with stars and galaxies. Yeah. So what would gosh, every time I'm like, oh, could we just not be the worst? For 5 minutes. Like, could you just give me like, I don't know, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months, maybe? Like that would be cool. I could appreciate that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
illegal,
what
illegal. Every major TTRPG is just going to do problematic stuff. So buy indie.
anyway,
Should
good
we,
time. So we
back to the question. Should we avoid the church?
So believe it or not, Kindred typically, unless you have that specific flaw, are not affected by things like crosses. Fire, very bad, very scary, could cause some problems. So maybe avoid that. Stakes to the heart won't kill you, but you still don't want to do it because you will be incapacitated. So make sure to stay away from those as well. Crosses, not really an issue.
okay. What news? Like what? Sorry.
I was just gonna ask, who gave us this map? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what was the directions that went with the map?
There weren't a lot of directions other than you are looking for Everett York, who is the Camarilla messenger.
Well,
Okay.
the Hotel Willerton is marked off here. That's where I'd stay if I were staying in a tiny town. A hotel seems like the good thing.
Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
so many questions.
I have heard that occasionally people do go to hotels. There's a motorcycle shop next to it. I mean, that's where. Okay. So if that's kind of what the group would have decided, then that is where Colibri will drive them.
Well, and I mean, there's also if you look the far south part of town, the Last Chance Saloon. There's the gas station, which is a possibility that someone passing through could have stopped there. The avoid these houses. Maybe you avoid those houses. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Who knows?
You do you.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you die. Maybe you won't. Who knows?
Arthur immediately is wondering why avoid these houses.
Listen, there is no such thing as consequences. That's a made-up thing.
Did you tell me not to do something and not to go somewhere?
Let's immediately go there.
I mean, that is kind of the whole thing behind Bruja, isn't it?
Right. But if you are going to the hotel, that is okay. We can start off there.
Well, it's on the way to the saloon, so I feel like we can move up into more fun things as we go.
Fun is yes, that's what's going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
Give me just a minute. I really don't like PDFs sometimes because I will lose stuff very easily.
That's fair. I forget that my phone saves PDFs and I keep re-downloading them because I'm really tech savvy.
I am so glad it's not just me because I definitely have multiple copies of the same PDF.
I love when people are like, for ADHD to manage it, just make lists. And I'm like, bold of you to assume I will remember that I made the list. I'm good at making lists. I'm bad at remembering I have them and where I put them.
Yeah, it's usually the where I put them part. I might remember I have them, but where did I save them? Is it on my computer? Is it on my phone? Who knows? It's a mystery.
When I started my campaign, I had gone through and made a bunch of folders and stuff to organize everything in my world. And I forgot. And about 8 months into the campaign, I opened a file and I was like, oh,
that's where that is.
Organized once. I forgot I made it all together. I was like, well, anyway.
It's fine. Everything is totally fine. No, it's okay. Yeah, so you make your way to the hotel.
Very fast, by the way. Very fast. Like,
of course.
the police here in the small town, I know they're usually really predatory. They are not even going to know the car was there. It's just going to be like a red streak and dust, and then suddenly they're at a hotel.
Yeah. Weirdly, for Indiana, there's a tumbleweed that blows by. Very native to the northern states for sure. Yeah, so making your way inside, you see a pimply teenager with a crackling voice whose name tag says Bradley. And you see they are carrying some suitcases from the lobby out the back. Otherwise, the hotel lobby is pretty empty. There's not a lot of people around.
Sorry, they're taking the suitcases like out the back door?
Yes.
And this is a hotel, yes, not a motel. I just want to make sure I'm not getting
Correct.
fussed too quickly.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We don't. How horror are we going, and how fast? What is everyone's clans again? Like what is and what are
Nosferatu?
their strengths? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I figure Kaliri would know a little bit more about the characters if they
Sure.
knew each other before.
Malakadian.
Yeah, we have two
Janice is
Malks.
Malkavian as well.
Right.
That's right. Let's go.
The oops all Malks.
So I actually think Emerson would probably not feel comfortable walking into the hotel lobby, so would probably stay outside, like maybe like slip into an alley or something, just being like, "Yeah, I'm good out here." I think when she goes in public, she wears a like a face mask, like a a surgical mask. That's the word.
Okay, yeah.
Because hey, it's like, hey, there's a legitimate reason to wear a mask in public all the time now, which is really good for a new Nosferatu.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
do Kindred need it? No. But does everybody else know that? Also no.
Nobody
Mhm.
needs to know.
Yeah, they just think
Why
that
do you have
you're
the
a very
dark circles? You're
conscientious person. Yeah. They think you're very conscientious. You're very caring about other people. Actually, you're thinking about eating other people. So
You know what? I was gonna make a joke and I lost it. I'm sorry. By the way,
Relatable.
I used to be a professional vampire. As in, I'm a medical laboratory scientist, and we worked in a small hospital, so we did phlebotomy too. And every Halloween and every lab week and every it was, oh, it's the vampires, and it's that thing. You know, everyone gets their customer service like thing that everyone always says, like working hard or hardly working. That was ours.
Mhm.
Oh, it's the vampires, and I'm like, yeah,
I refuse
That's
to
amazing.
vampires. We played into it though; it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so
as
like I said, you see Bradley carrying these suitcases, and they seem to be full. They don't seem to be just empty ones that were left behind or anything.
okay, seeing him, there's not anyone at the desk or anything, right? It's just him.
Right. Yep.
Seeing that, Kaliri just confidently walks right up with a smile. I see that we are not the only visitors here right now.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people who come through.
Oh, really? It's a bit of a how do you say, crossroads of sorts. Do people come here on the way
Yeah,
to?
we got one of those.
Oh, I did see there was the one traffic signal, which seems like a big deal for this town.
Do you need more than one?
I don't know that you need any at all, to be honest.
Yeah, you're really not supposed to be back here, though. I'm gonna have to ask you to go back out in the lobby.
Oh, I am so sorry. I was looking for assistance.
Yeah. I'll be right there. Yeah, just and you can see that he is trying to put these suitcases behind him so that they're out of sight.
Duly noted. Let me remember what this character can do. 1 second. If I built this character sheet correctly, which I hope I did.
So, just for setting the scene, we have the lobby. We have Bradley going into the back. We have Kalibri, who I guess is like walked up to the door to the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Emerson is still outside.
Emerson is outside, and
Janice is sitting in the lobby with her nose in a book. But do not let that fool you. She's very observant.
I think our characters are going to be very similar, and I'm very excited about it.
I love how just immediately was like, we've got the person who's keeping the watch outside. We have the two people who will keep watch inside, but aren't as social. And then we have the person that's like, I guess I talk to people.
Yeah. Was any of this planned? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Did it work out? Yes.
So Arthur
So far.
has their headphones in and is rubbing their arms as if cold, but is just trying to soothe themselves as they're sort of wandering around looking like. And I'll leave it up to people's own interpretation whether they're playing it up a little bit, but sort of wandering around the lobby, like looking at things, artwork, like cracks in the wall, anything.
It is the artwork here is not good. It looks like not even Walmart art. Like this is some Dollar Tree art for sure. Not that they have a Dollar Tree in Willerton. You have to go to a bigger city to get that for sure.
But is sort of using that meandering, almost random approach to get to a position where they're investigating something innocuous, but actually looking out of the corner of their eye to try and get a read on Bradley and these suitcases and why he's being so sus about this.
Arthur, why don't you give me a wits and awareness roll, please?
Wits awareness. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Do I have hunger? I don't know if I have hunger yet.
Yep, you all will have 2 hunger.
Oh dear.
Well, that's
Wits
okay. I mean,
awareness.
it's fine.
And
Everything's fine.
Steve, difficulty blank if unknown.
Yeah.
6 successes.
Jesus. What a way to start off the first roll. How many dice did you have in your dice pool?
5.
Oh, so you got a crit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Possible messy crit? I don't know what that.
Oh, okay. Okay. How would Arthur be investigating, but also be intimidating and maybe even like borderline masquerade breach?
Oh, I mean, okay.
And I guess actually before you do that, sorry to interrupt. Just because I know Melon, you are new-ish to World of Darkness. The Masquerade in Vampire the Masquerade is the thing that is protecting all of the vampires from being known by the world at large. So there are things in place in Kindred Society, especially the Camarilla, that wants to maintain that anonymity, wants to let humans think that humans are the top of the food chain and not being hunted actively by 4 people in a hotel lobby.
Duly noted.
So anyway, continue.
Okay. So with the like rubbing their arms to soothe themselves, Arthur is probably, especially because they have their headphones in, unaware that they're talking to themselves out loud a little bit. And at one point, as they're like glancing over at this guy, say a little too loudly, like, "No, she's not going to eat him." I don't think she is anyway.
And
That would be out of character.
As they say that, Bradley, you see that his eyes bulge in fear. Like, are you gonna eat me? Are you a cannibal?
Cleary glances over her shoulder and looks at Arthur and looks back, and then and there's this like, she's on the edge of a sigh.
Can Can Arthur
No,
try and
you do
smooth
not
this
need to
over?
be so worried about them. It is a running joke. That is not what they meant in eat them. They meant it's like a switch up on the Italian turn of phrase. It is am I going to convince you to work with us? It doesn't really make a lot of sense in English. I'm very sorry about that. And she glances over her shoulder at Arthur again, like not
What?
not
A
like
lot
the
of
rooster.
people-
Really.
A lot of people want her to eat them. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cleaver raises
Cleaver.
an eyebrow. Okay, well, that
And
is
then Arthur is gonna sort of meander over to something else, and try to subtly pull out their phone and text Emerson, and just tell her tell her. I have to like look at the screen and be like, they, she,
Right.
they.
I almost messed up on Andrew, and I'm married to them. It's a good.
I get it.
Um,
We talked
Dexter.
in the chat beforehand. I'm bad about misgendering myself still because I only came out in October of last year, so
congratulations.
still adjusting to my own pronoun.
Statistically, I
Yeah,
will misgender
fair.
myself and no one else. But yeah, text Emerson and let her know that there's a kid bringing out suitcases and being cagey about it and suspicious. Did I get a read on that? I don't know how the messy critical works. Like, do I still succeed?
Yeah.
I just sort of like, oops.
Oh no, it's okay. We were
Oops, I
just
did
resolving the.
Gotcha. Okay. Oops, I did a faux pas.
Yeah. So your read is he is absolutely being a little bit more than just cagey. There is something incredibly sus about this. This is not
Okay.
normal hotel behavior, and there's not really any reason why he should be taking these out there. And before we cut over to Emerson, Calibri, if you would give me a charisma and persuasion roll, please, and we will resolve that in just a moment. Emerson, as you get this text, what would your response be?
I'm assuming like I'm by that door that he's about to come out of.
Because he's going out the back, probably not unless you were going around back.
Well, I can. It won't. It's not too hard to go around back. So I think I would go around the back, find a shady corner to kind of squat in, and I would activate Cloak of Shadows.
Amazing. And Janice, in the lobby, what would you be doing?
Probably just generally not caring. Trying to avoid the situation as much as possible, and almost make it seem like I'm not even part of the group. Like I'm staying at the hotel maybe, but trying to like not stick out like a sore thumb.
That's valid. All right, and Calabria, what did you get on that roll?
Okay, I'm trying to remember how the dice work in this game.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
rolled them. And I have the official VTM dice. How do I
perfect.
read them again?
So if you have the little Ankh symbol, that is a success. If you have the Ankh with the little dot things, that is a potential critical if you have 2 or more of them. The skulls are critical failures if you have, I think, only 1 of them in Vampire. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have 2 with nothing on them. I have 2 with the normal symbol. I have 1 with the star and 1 with the skull.
Ooh, a star. One moment, because
I
I'm
just
drawing a total blank. Oh,
1
the
on
Ankh with
hunger,
the stars?
D10 fail.
Is
10
it the
on
Ankh with the
D10.
stars?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. So that is a potential crit. You said you just had 1 though?
Yeah, just 1, and then 2 of the Ankh, and then 1 of the skull, and then 2 with nothing.
Oh, so that would mean that you also, you would have you could have had a bestial failure, but you had enough successes that you're okay, because you had the 10 and then the 2 other successes. So yeah, 3 successes. You see Bradley just looks so overwhelmed, like absolutely terrified of everything that's going on at this point. Like having heard Arthur and what they were saying, not at all believing you, but trying to convince themselves that you're not going to eat them or just murder them. And they're just like, yeah, sometimes people just like leave without paying their bill. I don't know why we're throwing these away. That's just what it's just the policy. If I keep them, then I'm going to get fired. So I'm just throwing them away.
Is there an insight check here? Trying to remember how they were.
You definitely don't believe him.
Okay, fair. There is nothing to be worried about. I have no plans to hurt you. It's a bit unusual, and I don't travel through a lot of small American towns since I came over here. I just, I wonder a bit at the customs, and those look awfully heavy. Do you need a hand?
No, I'm so strong. He's pretty scrawny.
It really is no trouble. Let me give you a hand, and you can tell me a bit more about this hotel and if it is the place we should stay in town. If it is the only place.
It's the only place for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's cool, I guess. It pays the bills that I don't really have yet.
Well, that is fair in this economy. Having something that pays the bills is not something to be laughed at. Here, let me give you a hand. And she's not like forceful, but she's quick as she reaches down to pick up one of the bags.
Yeah.
At the same time, Arthur is going to text the group chat and just go, is it normal to be worried about people eating you? Isn't that kind of exclusively a thing in our world? Like forgetting how humans work? And it's like, because like, shouldn't that just be like a joke or like a innuendo or something? I'm confused. It's like, I thought it's like trying to run people.exe. And it's like, wait, hold on. This guy's not people.exeing. I don't know what to do here.
I will say for the rest of the group who would be seeing this text and able to respond to it, he's like 16 and Calibri is a fairly attractive kindred. And, kindred have a little bit more persuasion powers. So I think no matter what was said, he would be incredibly nervous, but yeah, maybe a little sus on the anxiety, but he also could just have really bad anxiety.
He could just be nervous.
So while Calibri is reaching for the suitcases, Janice kind of swoops up and asks Bradley if he goes to school in the area.
Oh, yeah, I do. Why?
I'm just wondering what you like to study.
Oh,
I'm a retired teacher.
So no, I don't really like to study.
Well, if you ever change your mind, let me know.
I love the middle school teacher coming out. Vampire. I think Abigail's having some tech issue. It's okay. It happened last night. I don't know. Camera issues.
Fair. Our internet's been all over the last few days, but fortunately only on the upload, so we can't stream, but we can do other stuff.
Everything's fine.
It's fine. We're not streamers. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally fine. Hey, look, you get to be center stage now.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I figured since it happened last night that was probably similar issues. Yeah, so I mean, at this point, Bradley is just trying to get these suitcases into the dumpster. And Calibri, since you've taken one of them, would you be doing anything else with it, or are you just like helping him?
She's gonna get a feel for it. She wants to come across helpful. She's getting an idea of like how much too heavy is this suitcase if it's actually just got someone's stuff in it.
It's definitely someone's stuff. It's not someone stuffed inside.
You know what? That's a really good distinction in this world.
Right.
And as she helps out, she makes it clear, like, this is fine. I can handle this. But as they go to take them outside, she is going to fake a tripping to drop the suitcase to try and break it open.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
She has
You
her
know.
stilettos, so I feel like they're not really made for this part of the country.
Right.
A
Yeah,
normal person, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think it's very hard to do, especially because Kindred are a little bit more supernaturally strong and potentially graceful in theory. To just accidentally make this suitcase bust open. And it looks like normal stuff. You see, maybe they have like a bag that looks like they've probably got their clothes that are dirty in there. There's not a laundry facility here. Not that you would know that yet, but it wouldn't take much to figure that out. So it looks like maybe stuff that they're going to take back home to wash whenever they get back from their trip. Nothing unusual other than the fact that this person's stuff is being thrown out. You do notice that there are keys, wallet, phone, things like that, that if they
The person should
left
have with
without paying
them.
the bill, if they left without paying the bill, they would theoretically have. You would think.
You would think. She glances at that. Oh goodness, what is she good at? Hang on. She's
And
fast.
while you're looking, Emerson, would you in any way have made yourself known to Calibri as you are obfuscating around back?
I don't think there's a way for her to signal Calibri that she's there without breaking the ability entirely.
Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe before you activated it, there was some way to signal, but yeah, that's valid.
Man could have texted the group chat being like hiding behind the building, something like that.
That makes sense. BRB behind dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
She also has 4 dots in awareness, so she's pretty
Yeah, that's
on
fair.
edge.
Yeah, I think Calibri, maybe even you have a chance to glance at your phone while Bradley is like trying to scoop all this stuff back into the suitcase. I was like, oh yeah, no, just let me take care of it. I got it.
She is definitely helping clean that up because she is going to try to slip at least the phone, if not the keys, and pretend like she's putting it under clothes, but actually just slip it, kind of sleight of hand it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
She has it.
Yeah, give me dexterity and subterfuge.
Okay.
And Emerson, while she is doing that, what would you be doing? Are you just watching, or would you be trying to do anything?
I think watching if I can pick up on what Calibri's doing, I might try to make a distraction, even if it's just like, if I'm on the far side of the dumpster, just pounding on it really hard to make a sound to make him jump so that his eyes are somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Which would break Cloak of Shadows, but that's fine.
Right. I would allow it. I mean, especially because you're not being perceived actively. I think you can make some sounds without too much of an issue here. But you're also pretty well hidden, so even if you did break your obfuscate, I think you'd be all right. Yeah, and he's just like, what the hell was that? Like, you can see he is
jumpy,
so beyond on edge at this point. Like, he's about to have a panic attack.
Oh, poor buddy.
You say that.
That's only one success, but is he pretty well distracted?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, she's wearing wow, my brain. A kind of fit of like A-line shorter dress, and she just kind of slips it under into it, obviously like a pocket in the bottom of the dress. As she's straightening things up and moving the clothes around, does she have enough time to try and slip the keys too? She is fast. That is one of her things.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay. And she is going to just hold the keys next to her own car keys that she's still got, so it looks like it's just her keys.
Smart.
And straightens everything up, helps put back. Oh, I am so sorry. I definitely did not dress for the occasion. And she kind of like straightens her dress and like moves her, like kind of checks her heel where it's gotten a little in the down in the dirt. Oh, that was very clumsy of me. I am sorry. I was trying to help and I think I just made a mess. Could I ask why you are throwing it all out? That doesn't seem. I mean, I would think if the hotel were trying to recoup costs, that it would want to keep the things and see if it could not sell them.
Listen, it's just policy. I don't know. I don't make the rules, and clearly is trying to make eye contact with Janice at this point, like looking for help.
Oh, buddy.
Because now you've identified yourself as like maybe not specifically a teacher, but someone who is maybe potentially a more trusted adult than this.
Are you saying that Calibri, who works for the crime lord, is not trustworthy? I am offended.
As you should be. Obviously an innocent being.
Obviously.
So Janice is gonna kind of put her hand on Calibri's shoulder and go, I think we should just wait in the lobby while this sweet little boy throws these things out. We shouldn't bother them too much, and we'll wait for our room assignments. And so we just kind of I guide Calibri back to the lobby and sort of gesture Arthur to come and sit with us.
Oh, that is very fair. Obviously I am of no help here, and that is probably being very rude. I don't really know what the culture is here. And she turns around and follows Janice back in.
And Emerson, because you are able to witness this interaction, would you be going back around front and inside, or would you be still waiting outside?
So I was wondering, do we know what the person we're trying to meet looks like?
Less meet, more find. No, you do not.
All right. Well, either way.
Yeah, you just know the name.
Yeah. I think either way, I think once the door is shut, I think Emerson will stay where she is, stand up, and she is going to attempt to... she's going to text the group chat, like, going to ask some friends, and is going to attempt to use feral whispers to summon some local crows to see if they've noticed any strangers in the area.
I love that.
Okay. Yeah, and because we're doing this a little bit out of the recommended order, that's fantastic. I love that. Do you have to roll anything for that?
Let's see here. It says I have to make a rouse check per type of animal chosen for the scene, and to summon an animal, I need to make a charisma and animalism roll.
Okay, so go ahead and make that rouse check first. So just a single die.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's an 8. No hunger gained.
Fantastic.
All right, and then charisma plus animalism. Just don't know what the difficulty is.
That's okay.
Bestial failure.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
Wait, sorry, that didn't make... I think the dice roller went wrong because only one die showed up. Let me try that again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, go for it.
It's like, but that doesn't make any sense. Okay, there we go. 2 successes.
Okay, that is significantly better. Yeah, so you take a little bit of time. What do you do to summon these birds?
I think she just starts kind of making like clicking noises with her mouth, just like just something that sounds like it would attract a crow would like, and just seeing if there are any in the area that would hear her and be interested in what she has to say.
Absolutely. You do not summon any crows. What you do summon is a magpie.
Oh.
And watching this magpie, it acts strangely, almost intelligently.
Emerson would kind of look at it and go, in using feral whispers. So I still thinking this kind of clicking, just kind of be like, "Hello, do you live here?"
And it just tilts its head at you.
Emerson just returns the gesture kind of automatically, like, "Yeah, of course, this is what you do."
Emerson might be part crow.
Jury's still out.
I'm kind of morbid. Gonna reach into her pocket. I think she's always got like some kind of snacks on her, even though she can't really enjoy them.
Makes sense.
Like
That's fair.
some crackers or something, and just kind of takes them out and goes, "Would you like to talk to me?"
It just nods its head.
Mm-hmm. Emerson kind of puts a cracker down and says, "We're looking for new people like us. Human, but not human."
It tilts its head the other way and then nods.
Mm-hmm. Are they here?
And it shakes its head.
Did they leave the town?
And it shakes its head again.
Do you know where they are?
It nods.
Can you show me?
It shakes its head, and you can tell, just in the way that it's communicating, that it is telling you that they're dead. And not dead in a vampire sense, like the true death.
Well, okay, so no sense asking this magpie for details. It seems like they prefer to be yes or no. As Emerson's going to lay out the rest of the snacks for the magpie and say, "Thank you, enjoy, bon appetit," and is going to text the group chat saying, "Bird says the mark's dead."
And if you watch at all to see if it eats, it does not.
Rude.
Very rude.
So, question: while this is happening, Bradley went outside the building, right?
For a moment, yeah.
So there's the lobby, there's the back door. How long is that? You know what? Is this? I mean, how updated is this hotel? Does it have like a computer system, or does it still have like a book?
Oh, it's definitely got a book.
assignments?
It's not that fancy.
It feels like almost a bed and breakfast to me.
But like not that nice.
Mhm.
It's like one step up from a motel. Like,
It's like one step up from. I'm getting like that vibe of like it's one step up from that Airbnb where someone got like has just turned every room in a house into a room.
Yeah, the bathroom room.
Yeah. Arthur, while Bradley is outside, and there's no one else in the lobby, right?
Right.
Is going to walk over and start like fidgeting with the book, like flipping it back and forth and like folding corners of the pages.
Sure.
And just, folding each corner of the page the exact same distance. But as they are doing that, they are reading through, looking for the name, see if the name of the mark is in here, and their room number, and also who stayed in the hotel in the last 3 to 5 days.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Trying to figure out what room the persons whose suitcases are being thrown out would be from.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get a couple of names that I will get to in just a second. You do see Everett York on the guest list, though. You see when he checked in, you do not see a checkout.
Does it say his room number?
It does.
Are the keys to the rooms hanging on the wall behind the desk?
Yeah, actually, that would make sense.
Arthur is going to wander over and play with the keys, changing all of them and changing where they are and making sure to make like a really nice rattling sound as they're doing it, because it is very soothing. But
Right.
also, as they're playing with them, make sure to steal that room key.
Amazing. Yeah, because we've already confirmed you were in there. You had some downtime while Emerson and Calibri and Janice as well, somewhat, were providing distraction. There's really no need for you to roll. You are able to do that pretty easily. So you have acquired the room key.
And when Janice beckons, fetches Calibri and benches Arthur over, Arthur, with the key hidden in their hand, just both hands on their legs, just sort of waddles over and sits down next to Janice. Just feeling content with the key sounds.
So, Emerson, you said that you went inside, though, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were, sorry, group text. Going from kids on bikes where cell phones are basically illegal to all of this, like 2024 technology, is a bit of a head trip.
bit of a thing.
Yeah. That's on me for GMing multiple nights in a row.
What setting are we in again?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's fair.
We went from Michigan to Indiana, so it really didn't change a whole lot, just the technology. Yeah, so you all are able to very easily get a room. I think that Calibri, you would have probably been assured that you have enough money that you would be able to find a place to stay because you have this very mysterious benefactor. And yeah, you all are able to get to your room. Would you be doing anything once you're there? And Emerson, what would you be doing while everyone else is getting this room?
I suppose if we've got a room, I think Emerson would, make her way through the front door, kind of keeping her face down and just kind of be like, join, go upstairs, not talk to anybody.
Yeah, makes sense. Would any of you be doing anything to the room?
I mean,
Make sure
Calibri's
the
been going
Why
curtains
did you
through that
phrase
for
it like that?
Well,
Yeah, I was just like, what?
well,
You know what?
I
Yes,
phrase it.
Arthur is going to check the room for bugs, cameras, etc. Check inside of vents, check inside of all the desks, check inside of the windowsills, trying to think back to check the smoke detectors, anything like that, any of the vent, anything in the ceiling that's attached to that.
Yes.
And then also at the same time be checking the room for cleanliness.
Yeah, so
Not
I will
quite
say,
pulling out a UV light, but being very meticulous in checking the cleanliness.
right. I will say that you do not find any electronic bugs. You do find a dead cockroach, and you can tell it's not the cleanest room at all. But otherwise, you notice there are heavy wooden shutters on the windows and a very heavy oak door for the room.
How lightproof are those shutters?
That was why I was asking what to do to prepare. It seems like you could potentially get some duct tape, some nails, things like that, and make this more secure. A bit of a temporary haven, if you will.
Well, I don't think they would get our deposit back if we did that, but maybe at least we can get some of those sheets up and put them over the
Duct tape,
the windows. Yeah, duct tape some sheets up there. I don't get cold. I don't know if any of you use comforters anymore.
They're still comfy, right? They still gotta be kind
Arthur's-
of soft-ish.
Arthur is absolutely, as Emerson asked that, unpacking a blanket that has that's one of those that is one of those fuzzy blankets that has Grumpy Cat on it, and it says, "This is my happy face." It's just.
Is it just a regular blanket, or are we talking a weighted blanket?
It's a regular blanket. It's just very fuzzy. It's those. It's those felt blankets that that they sell at all of the I mean, every single company ever has put something on them. I'm just trying to think of what they're called.
Absolutely.
Now. I can't think of the blanket. Like,
Yeah, no, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's just
Yeah,
wraps it around them.
While everyone's getting the room situated, Clevie just walks over and falls back on the bed, and immediately she is working on unlocking the phone, opening it, trying to see who are the emergency contacts. Are there any pictures on here? What's going on? And she is like dead focused on that. And with her celerity and stuff, I mean, she is just so fast. She's just going through the phone can't keep up with her, but she's trying. And this is the little lore on her that I totally forgot to mention. She really wishes that she'd had a chance to be like a normal teenager and wants to have the freedom and wants to. And she is a TikToker by day and a pure crime lord by night.
amazing. I
haven't
love
done
that.
this on TikTok yet, but I have a whole like look and cosplay that's totally different. I'm so excited about it. But like, yeah, she knows her social media. She has a pretty good following, you know.
This is the second World of Darkness game that I have run that TikTok has been a very significant part of in some form or fashion. Currently, our Werewolf Chronicle, they're using TikTok to try and take down Pentex, like you do.
As you do, as you should.
Yeah.
Of course.
Arthur, are you mentioning the key at all, or are you investigating the room at all?
Yes, Arthur will, I guess, wrap the blanket around themselves, climb up onto one of the chairs, and put their knees up to their chest. So, Emerson, how do you know that the mark is dead? Also, he was here. He did not check out, and I have his room key.
Yeah, I asked one of the magpies that live around here. Not a very chatty one, as magpies go, but yeah, said that it saw him and that he's dust now. He's the true death.
Do you mention the intelligence that you noted? Like it is unnaturally intelligent for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think Emerson would mention that as well, saying like, yeah, it seemed really smart, even for a magpie. Like magpies, corvids, probably the best conversationalists I've found, but outside of humans. But
that's
they yeah, I'm wondering, could have been oh god, what if it was his famulus? I don't know what happens to a famulus if you've reached the true death.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
Calibri sitting on the bed, still going through the phone and like taking in any information she is finding. It's kind of taking that all in, and then she's just leaning out of the bed like very casually. Like she looks about 21, and she is in this like casual environment, kind of hold herself like she's 21, like a college student in theater. And at that, she looks up. Questions I really need to ask somebody sometime, I guess. It's not something I ever considered. I am pretty sure this. We have established that this is probably his stuff, right? The things that they were throwing outside.
So having some time to check out the phone and stuff, the phone definitely did not belong to him. It belonged to a couple who seemed to have been on their way from Indy to Chicago.
I've made that drive before.
Same. I have family who live in Indy, so yeah.
We stopped at a gas station, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done, and never again. It was me and Andrew, and there was this guy who didn't stop watching me the entire 10 minutes we were in there, and he was like talking to them, and it was a weird vibe, and I was over at Andrew, and I'm like, we're going, right? We don't need to stop at the... Nope, we're... Okay, bye. And we just right back out.
I can tell you.
Late on that story. We're supposed to go to Indianapolis, and we missed our flight because of the disability accommodations. And so we had to fly to Chicago and then rent a car and drive to Indy.
The whole trip
So
was the
from like
epitome
midnight to 3 a.m.
of everything that could go wrong. With the car rental, it was a nightmare, and we hadn't had a chance to stop at like a bathroom or anything in like 7 or 8 hours. When we stopped at that gas station, we were like, nope, we got another hour and a half. We're just going.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, understandable.
So it's
I can
owned by a
definitely say
couple.
that Willerton gives a little bit of that vibe. Maybe not quite as intense of like, let's get the hell out of here, but like a little bit of that vibe. Something isn't quite right here.
Got an energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh boy.
And so, as Emerson was saying, she noted that the magpie was especially intelligent, unusually so.
Do you think there is anyone here who can shape change? Is there any chance it wasn't actually a bird?
I do not know.
Does anybody have any points in occult?
No.
Did all of us not have characters of the cult coming into the cult shit? that would fit.
It happens.
I've got one in Animal Ken, okay.
I would laugh if Janice had like a ridiculous amount of occult points. Middle school.
I
teacher,
wish.
all the things.
I wish. She does have a lot of stealth points and break-in points, which is really awesome.
That's
and badass.
concerning a little bit.
I should. I very specifically, I wonder if I didn't tick the occult box when I was making my character, because I was like,
That's
I need
valid.
to make sure I take occult, because that feels like, especially everything that happened to my character, something they should have. I'm just not sure where those points went instead.
Would you say probably 1 or 2 dots?
It should be 2. I'm just trying to figure out where that ended up instead.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later. I think let's roll as if you have 2 dots in it.
Okay.
So give me intelligence and occult.
Intelligence occult. Okay, we have 2 successes.
Okay. You definitely would know that there are other shape changers you've heard of. You probably have not met or even really seen from a distance any of them, but you would maybe have heard stories because they're probably the most common, aside from Geru, of the Korax, the were-ravens. But Korax don't necessarily like Kindred all that much. Not as intensely as Geru, but I think you would probably even know that if it were a were-raven, and Emerson, I'm assuming you probably communicated that you implied you were not human.
Yeah.
If a Korax were to have heard that, they probably would not have cooperated at all. And possibly might have even gotten violent.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a very interesting thing to see at the start when the magpie's just sitting there and all of a sudden it just goes, what's up with the birds?
Oh,
the birds work for the bourgeoisie, that's right.
Because Korax can turn into a swarm, much like the where spiders can. So yeah, you could have become Alfred Hitchcock.
The what? I should share. I know enough about VTM because I ran it one time. I actually don't know anything about this setting, which is why it's so exciting to me.
I love
spiders.
Yeah, I love Werewolf. It's actually my preferred World of Darkness game over VTM. Where spiders are a thing, they can also turn into a swarm. It's disturbing.
Wow. We have the werewolf book. We have the Changeling book, and then this one and big. I mean, this was a gift from the Paradox people last year, so thank you. But this was very fun. This is the only player book. I read some of the Exalted one. I get them. I get the very basics. I figure out how to play the character, and then I learn as I go. This is the only book I've actually opened and then sat down and I guess not cover to cover, but read. It's very good if anyone wants to look at it when they want to play. It's got a lot of extended stuff about character building.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Anyway, sorry.
I don't have the physical book. One day. But yeah, I mean, you probably don't know much about were spiders. They're even less common than Korax.
So anyway, where we don't go is
So it's correct.
wherever that is.
Yeah, I thought I would have poked your eyes out. Try
Well,
to get
so
eyes out, but it
I
didn't.
mean,
But then
you all would
Maybe there's
definitely
something
know
worse here?
you would definitely know, Arthur, that if this were a shape changer, it would not be friendly. And it sounds like it may not have been friendly, but it wasn't unfriendly. So I think you would be able to assume this was not some kind of shape changer.
okay, it's something else. Okay.
Okay. Well, it sounds like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Emerson.
I was just saying. Well, it sounds like. So we have one source saying that he's dead. The stuff getting thrown out doesn't look like it was his. Yeah.
Right.
It looks like this phone belonged to an older couple that was just passing through, which is interesting. Where did that couple go? This is a lot of missing people, and it is a small town. And look, I know we are usually the things that go bump in the night, but I have watched quite a few horror movies, so I feel like I have an idea of where this might be going. She likes
there are some very intense Italian horror movies too. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I've also seen a couple of French psychological horrors, which were
I'm so
a
sorry.
whole adventure.
Yeah.
By accident, we thought we were going to a Korean romance. An international
So
cinema.
close. So close.
Yeah, I've read enough Cthulhu-esque stories that all start with people vanishing in towns.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Too many horror movies set in motels and hotels. We've known each other well enough to kind of have a vague idea of each person's skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Janice, would you like to make use of this key that I accidentally acquired? And that is not an attempt to lie to the party. It is just an attempt to...
I am so glad you asked, Arthur, because Janice is quite skilled in Passage of the Unseen. The Unseen Passage, I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So she would like to take that key and try it on all of the doors in the hotel.
Well, Arthur will tell you what door it goes to. Because
yep.
Oh.
I took it specifically.
I see. So she wants to go do that.
Yeah. Conveniently, we're going to say his room was room 6, your room is room 5, directly across from us.
Oh.
That's perfect.
And after handing off the key, Arthur holds the key out to Janice, and as Janice says it, stops and freezes for a second and has that brain blast, like they've gone into the other to another dimension for a second.
And she just waits and holds out her hand.
And Arthur is attempting to remember if they paid attention to if they saw a couple on like 2 names on the list, or who else stayed in the hotel.
Yeah, you definitely would have seen a couple, especially if Calibri shows you anything from the phone. It seems like it would be fitting.
Okay.
There's also
Arthur will look at Janice and give her this give a very apologetic face. I know the room this key goes to, but I definitely switched all of the other keys. So you may have to try all of the other keys and all of the other doors to find the right key to get into the room that the couple is from, because that may also be a good plan.
Calibri, as they're talking about keys and stuff, she holds up her car keys and then holds it separate from another keychain. I also managed to get a little bit of a... And she holds out the other set of keys. These were the couples.
And you do see that there's a room key on there.
Janice breathes a sigh of relief, grabs both keys, leaves the room, and shuts the door behind her. She goes, "Y'all are a mess. I got this."
As that's amazing. As she goes out and shuts the door, Cleary leans back on the bed again and goes to the phone. Look at, they are so cute together. Look at them. They look like they are still so much in love, and they look like they have been married for like, I don't know, 30, 40 years. look at them. And she's like showing them the pictures on the phone. And they're like the typical like boomer ones where they're not really like centered and stuff, but you can kind of see them.
Thumbs over the camera a little bit a few times.
Exactly. I really hope that they are not well, anyway.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but that's sort of what I'm assuming. They're throwing out their luggage there. And also, every time death gets brought up, Arthur repeatedly and over again does the like the symbol across their throat, like way too many times.
Yeah. Also, I love that our middle school teacher is the group mom 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Immediately.
And it's even better that her name is literally Miss Janice in the book.
First name
Like,
is.
okay,
I would
I'm
like
used to
to
wrangling
retcon-
cats. It's vampires now, but I've done middle school. I feel like
It's really funny. We just rescued a bunch of kittens. There are a bunch of kittens in the room with Blonde right now. So wrangling
my
cats is never
gosh.
oh
going.
my gosh. If somebody donates, I don't know. What do you want to do, Rick? I will go get one of the kittens. They're right there, and we will have a kitten. I will have the kitten with me for a minute.
You know what?
Please.
Literally any amount. Donate
Okay,
anything.
donate something, and I will
Well, okay.
go get a
Let's
kitten.
say at least $1. That way it's not some
There you
jerk
go.
being like, here's a penny.
That's fair. That's a good plan. At least $1. I will get the kitten cam.
Amazing.
And I would like to retcon it that Arthur refers to Janice as Miss Janice.
Amazing.
I mean,
I
that is
actually
literally
prefer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Miss or Ms.
Miss.
I don't. Okay,
Unmarried.
Okay, I don't actually know the distinction between the two. I just know that the
Mhm.
distinction exists.
yeah.
I
I'm
for
100%
many
sure.
years as a child was never really sure what the difference between Mrs. and Miss was.
Valid.
So Miss is for like younger women.
Uh-huh.
Ms. is for older unmarried women, and
Okay.
Mrs. is for married women
Okay.
in general.
Yeah, that one I got now.
There you
and
go.
Mrs. Because of the bit of calling someone my friends and then my wife after they got married. They're Mrs.
I don't
whatever their
believe
last
in
name
any
is.
of it. Just keep calling me
Yeah.
Miss, like whatever. I
Miss.
don't know.
I just thought this sounded prettier.
Andrew took my last name. I'm not here for any. No, like, look, we do what we want around here. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I do.
Uh,
But I appreciate the explanation because I'm like, the funny thing is I
Miss.
think of it in
Miss.
Spanish because
Amazing. So, Melon, you mentioned an ability. Can you remind me what that ability does? Because I am drawing a total blank.
So let me remind myself. It's obfuscate, unseen passage. So basically she can just kind of get around without being seen as long as she doesn't call attention to herself.
So it sounds like we're gonna get the kitten cam while we're buffering.
well, while the responsible one here is doing stuff, go get the kid.
In the meantime, Emerson, what would you be doing?
I think in the meantime, not gonna distract Janice from doing her thing. Is there? I'm assuming there's not like this isn't the kind of hotel room where there would be like a little mini kitchen or anything like that.
Not a mini kitchen. There is a mini fridge.
Not helpful. Aw.
I get my hair all in the way. This is what you guys want. Look at him. I kind of woke him up from a nap, so he's kind of still asleep. He is the chillest, fluffiest boy. Look at all this stuff. Look at him. He's like, what? We're doing this again because I've been showing him to everyone.
Is that
This is
Arrow?
This is Arrow. He's the most chill about sitting here, so I figure
So we have
he is so tired. Look at him; he's already asleep again.
we have Arrow, Bow as in rainbow, and Ace.
Amazing.
It's our
I love that.
it's our pride rescues.
It's our pride rescues. I take them out of under our neighbor's porch. I really wanted on the record that this little guy here, I was outside for like 8-9 hours to get them all, and we're still. We've got it all set up to get Mama too. But I rescue all of them. I'm out there for hours. Ruined my back. That's what I've heard. Out there for hours. But Blonde rescues this guy from her bookshelf, and now she is the favorite because she saved his
Amazing.
life. He's sitting there unironically like, I literally saved your life like 12 hours ago.
He went and said hi to the dog, and then he went over to the bookshelf to check it out, and I have a box, and he went next to the box, and then in true orange cat fashion, couldn't figure out how to turn around and started crying. So I went and I gently got him out, and he was like, "That's it, you're mom now."
So,
Amazing.
speaking of the same mom, last October, the day before Halloween, rescued a cat.
I
Can
was
you
gonna
hear
say,
the purring?
Abigail, you have a cat as well that we saw last night.
So
Yes.
This is your sister.
Oh,
Aw. Yeah, I would have gotten my cat, but she was just meowing to be let out of the room. So
that's fair. That's fair. I'm sure she'll be back any minute.
I got a grumpy meow, and then I put her on my lap and started petting her, and suddenly, Little Hallows Eve here is the favorite. So, but
All
yeah,
right,
it's a
so-
You
cat.
guys hear the kitten purrs?
I can't.
Darn.
It's probably the noise cancellation.
Yeah, probably. I was hoping if I had him really close.
Okay, I don't know if it pops up anything, but I did pay for our kitten cam. I meant to donate when last time when we were helping run the stream, but I forgot.
Yeah, all good. So, Miss Janice, it just costs 1 rouse check, so I just need you to roll a single dice, please.
All right.
And Janice, while you're rolling that, what is a rouse check?
That is to rouse the blood. So since
Okay.
it requires blood for you to remain reanimated, that's why if you haven't fed, you're going to be weakened. And so the blood that you have fed on basically keeps your body moving. You can also use it to pass as not a vampire.
That's the blush of life.
Yep.
At the beginning of the day, you roll to see if you can.
Well, at the beginning of the day, you roll the rouse check to see if you gain hunger. The blush of life is, though, to pass off as human.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay.
all of you definitely don't quite look human. You're a little too pale.
That was one of the merits was like up all night or something like that. And I is that just because you just look tired? You just look like you haven't slept. 'Cause I could find a description for a bunch of others. I couldn't find the description for that one. And the way it's worded, I'm like, do you just look like a poor tired some poor.
Probably. You know what? Let me look, because I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, that's from the new book, from Bloodstained Love. Which
We
I
do
don't
have
own.
a
so I
success, by the way.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So you are able to essentially disappear. As long as you are not being observed, you are, for all intents and purposes, invisible. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with the movie Mystery Men, but yeah, you're definitely. I think it was. Yeah, it was Kel, who can turn invisible as long as no one's looking at him. So, yeah. Yeah, you're able to get into the. I guess, would you go to the room across from yours first, which was the courier's room, or would you be going to the couple's room first?
I would go. I'm a little scared to go to the room that we think is Everett's room, so I'm gonna go to the couple's room first.
Okay.
Gain
Yeah,
some courage.
So, going to the couple's room, it looks like there was a fight. You see that things like picture frames and just random, probably a lamp is broken. The bedding is just absolutely strewn about the room, furniture toppled over. It definitely looks like they did not go wherever they were going willingly.
Oh, we're playing with the necklace, are we?
Is there any blood or any scratch marks on the wall?
It looks like the fight was contained enough that like they didn't tear up the walls per se. There's no blood that you see though.
Okay. Can I look through the drawers and things?
Empty.
Okay.
I mean, of course, it's a hotel room, so there is the little tiny Bible, but
Yeah, you know.
you gotta have that. for legal reasons, I think, probably. I think every hotel is required to have them at this point. But yeah, otherwise, what?
The meme about Jesus sealing the deal, so his book's in every hotel room in the West.
Sounds about right. Yeah, so otherwise there's nothing of interest. It definitely seems like all of their belongings were probably thrown into the luggage that was being thrown out.
Okay. So I go into the courier's room.
Yeah, absolutely. I would need you to give me a wits plus awareness roll, please.
All right, 2 seconds.
Absolutely.
It's not looking good, folks.
Oh no.
Oh no.
How bad?
I have 1 in my dice pool. Let's see. No successes.
Oh no. You only have one between
Oh,
wits and awareness, you only have one?
I don't have awareness on my skills list.
Oh no. Oh no.
it's fine.
Somehow.
I've got it all. We're good.
Yeah, somehow you're very sneaky, but not very observant.
Why would you need to be observant if you're sneaky? No one's going to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
But my intelligence is 4. So that is confusing.
Yeah, I mean, you can be intelligent and
intelligent?
very,
And
unobservant.
unaware.
Yeah, so you find, one moment, hold on, I lost it. Yeah, so even with your not good roll, you can tell that this was absolutely a kindred room because you can see there are nails that have been put into the blinds, or not the blinds, the shutters, and other kinds of preparations similar to what you all were just doing to prep your room to make it safe so you won't burst into flames or anything like that, just casually. So definitely a vampire's room. Otherwise, nothing of note.
Alrighty.
So are you reporting that back to the others?
Yeah, so I'll go back to the hotel room and the first thing I want to know is, Calibri, do you remember what the suitcase looked like when you opened it?
Do I remember what the suitcase looked like when I opened it? What did it look
I guess the important question here is in what way? Like, what are you looking for?
Did it look haphazardly packed or did it look carefully packed?
It would be really hard to tell because she did throw it.
Okay.
And it kind of
Never mind that.
We broke it open to make it look like an accident.
Yeah, it looked pretty haphazard, but it's hard to tell if that was already haphazard or if it was haphazard because it was thrown and exploded.
I guess some stuff might have stayed folded if it was really meticulously packed. I have done that before.
Yeah,
I've actually packed well.
There's 2 suitcases, right?
Yeah, you only looked in the one.
What time is it?
I mean, it's got to be decently late because you all were out and about.
I'm just more worried if it's going to be daytime soon.
No, not quite yet.
Arthur is going to slip out and go dumpster dive.
Perfect.
There's 2 suitcases. I got to see if the other one.
Yeah, I think you're able to slip out easily enough. They're not really expecting people to be about at this time of night, and Bradley seems to be alone, probably even asleep at the counter at this point. And so you go out and you check this other suitcase. It looks pretty haphazardly thrown together.
Okay. Then Arthur will come back in looking very victorious. Yeah, very, very haphazard. Definitely not, even from being thrown. I feel like if it was packed, I would have, haphazard.
So it probably was not them that packed it. It was probably somebody in a hurry. Right?
Seems fair.
Oh, bless you.
Question.
You okay? Oh, baby. It was a very loud sneeze. Hello. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So I suppose our courier could have eaten them before he disappeared, or whatever got them got him.
I
Arthur
mean,
looks very uncomfortable with the notion of a vampire eating other vampires.
The couple aren't vampires.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
definitely.
the couple weren't. Oh, okay.
They're definitely
Oh,
human,
the other room. I mixed that up. Okay. Never mind then. Arthur looks very upset at the idea that he just murked these two random people.
well, that is. Does Calibri know anything about this messenger they're missing? At all?
No, not really. You know his name. That's about it.
And it's like tied to Camarilla, which is why her boss is interested.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that you have that would tell you anything about him of import, aside from obviously his name. But I think you all are able to gather pretty easily that your leads at the hotel have run out. That this is pretty much as you're going to be able to gather without going elsewhere in the town.
Yeah. That map we have with the parts that are marked.
Mhm.
Do we know who made the markings? Did he make the markings?
It's hard to say. I think it's possible it was the mysterious benefactor. It could have been Everett.
Yeah. Like, okay. So the closest thing is the motorcycle shop and diner. Not sure what. Maybe he just liked to feed there. I don't know. There's also the church and those houses that he says to avoid.
And I dumped a body here once?
And there's still the saloon. That's still an option.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the saloon. We passed that on the way in.
But I mean, the diner would definitely be open. I think I'm going to say you all probably passed it on the way in, or at least could see it as you were going to the hotel, and can see that there, yes, it was a motorcycle shop next to it, but in front of the diner, there are a line of motorcycles as well. And it definitely is open. Hello, Kitty.
Oh,
Oh, baby.
Is that a little piece
Boing,
of the void?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love
My little angry void.
Thank you.
Love to see it.
Our void is there.
No.
It's a motorcycle shop.
Cross
Yep.
diner. Okay.
Cool. Calibri is very
They're
excited
next to each other.
about the motorcycles.
Yeah, they're next to each other.
Arthur has this very like pouty-ish look at the thought of loud motorcycles.
That's valid.
That's fair.
And we could split up to cover more ground. Some of us could check out the motorcycle shop. Someone else could check out the church or the gas station.
Janice would not mind going to the church. She feels comfortable there almost, in a weird way, for a vampire.
That's fair.
I mean, again, Jesus has nothing on these vampires.
I
no
mean,
back.
if Mr. Janice wants to go to the church, I will check out the motorcycle shop.
It seems like Arthur also seems uncomfortable with the motorcycle shop. So how about you two go to the church, and I'll come with Calibri to the motorcycle place.
Arthur does some quick math in their head. Church should be empty at this time of day. Church sounds great. Yes.
Should be. Keyword.
Very happy to go with Miss Janice.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, we will go with the church first. Let me find it real quick. Because it's apparently not that important.
My cat is currently attacking my trans flag.
In Pride Month?
I know.
I mean, to be fair, cats do what they want.
She has no
It's
pride in
moving.
anything but herself.
Ally. Talk, Valentina.
Okay, well, we won't go with the church first because I am finding jack and shit for the church in this PDF. So we will go to the motorcycle shop and diner. And so, as I was saying, the shop is at this point not open, but in front of the diner there are a line of motorcycles. And as you all approach, you see that there are a group of bikers inside. And let's see, they belong to. Where did that go? They are part of a motorcycle club that I definitely remember the name to.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's that motorcycle club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know that
that's
one.
what
We
it's
all
called.
know. I mean, that's what I like. I mean, I'm that one blonde nerd. So I'm like, yeah, that motorcycle shop, that thing over there, that place, that hotel, that motorcycle shop, that church.
There it is.
I'm called Quest, that motorcycle club.
Yeah, it's the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, and this is an over the table. Your characters would not know this. According to this, it was formed in McCook, Illinois, and the FBI raided several of their clubs on suspicion of criminal activity. So
Sounds like my kind of place.
yeah, it's a good time. So you all go in, and I mean, there's this rowdy group of bikers.
Mhm.
What would you be doing?
Is it just a rowdy group of bikers? What's the energy like? Is everyone kind of like just, joshing around having a good time? Are people a little more solemn? Is there one little group off in the corner somewhere that's maybe acting a little weird?
They are definitely basically have taken over this diner at this point. They seem to be the only real patrons. They've spread out throughout, but yeah, they're definitely very rowdy, yelling at each other. Not like violent, but absolutely ripping into each other verbally.
Okay. Yeah, they're having a good old time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Calibri, in her fitted short red dress and stilettos, looks around, smiles, and then just goes to walk right through them to like wherever the front desk or wherever it looks like there's somebody that either does, I don't know what they do here. Is this motorcycle shop? Is this like a club for people to hang out, or is this like they sell motorcycles?
No, it's like a shop where they repair them, but this is the diner. The diner is where.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the diner next to it. Okay.
Yep. You do see there is one person who seems to be kind of the center of attention almost, even though they're not really talking a lot. They seem to be the one who everyone looks to. And I won't even make you roll because it's not very hard to tell. This is not a human. This is a kindred. The rest of them appear to be human, though.
Sorry, the person behind the counter?
No, the person who is like the leader of this motorcycle club.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my brain just did the full, we missed 3 seconds there. More important seconds.
All good. That's how it goes.
Gosh, I love that ADHD instant reset. It's like stuff happened and words were said. The Etch-a-Sketch has fallen, though, and this is where we live. Gosh. Okay, so seeing that, she takes a closer look at the biker gang because and I'm still a little bit new to the lore myself. Sure. Can't vampires get what do they call that? Not a following exactly, but people that they kind of have.
A herd?
A herd?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
have that vibe?
I don't love some of the terms that they use.
It's weird.
Calling humans kind, like cattle. I don't love that. And then the herd also kind of ties in with that. So not a huge fan, but your group of people that you are potentially feeding on.
Like a following?
A following that you snack on.
Yeah. My brain lunch. We packed
Yes.
the lunch. No, please.
Yes, this is the lunchbox for this person. No, it's a little hard to tell.
Oh, boy.
You think that they would probably, there's enough of them, it would be hard for them to feed on these people unless they were just fully willing and committed,
Okay.
which is possible. I mean, there are cults who are that devoted to certain kindred, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Okay. She glances, she kind of just watches for a minute to get a feel for the vibe and goes by the counter, but on her, she goes as directly as she can to the counter while still wanting to pass near the leader, this other kindred.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you trying to glean any information in that?
As she goes past, she's just trying to get she's trying to get a feel for, I guess, kind of their presence, what they're like, how they're dressed. Are they very confident? Are they trying to stay hidden so these guys don't figure out they're a vampire? Are they have they fed recently? Do they look like they're at full health?
Sure.
Stuff like that. Just kind of general vibes.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a wits awareness roll. And Emerson, what would you be doing?
I think Emerson would also go up to the counter and just be very, at first as a cover, but then very eagerly actually examining the menu, figuring what do they have here anyway?
It's nothing nice. It's very this is not a Waffle House, but it could be a Waffle House.
Do they got chicken tendies?
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing. That's
My
all me
son
and
did-
Arthur need to know.
I was gonna say, Miss Janice, I feel like I went to the wrong place now.
Although it is very noisy, to be fair.
Hmm.
Tendies aside.
Okay, that is 2 successes. Which is actually
Okay.
kind of sad because I rolled 7 dice. But you know what? We live here.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, it seems like the leader is a little bit more well dressed than the others. They're all wearing denim and leather, and you see that they all have their motorcycle club jackets on. But most of the others, their gear is a little bit more worn, and while it doesn't look like his are new necessarily, they're more well maintained, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So they're still older. They're not pristine white and clean, because that would be shameful for a biker, but they're very well kept.
Okay. She's gonna take that into account. What do they look like? What's their height, build?
It's hard to tell with them sitting down, but they're kind of average build. Nothing. They're not super bulky, not super lanky, just sort of in between. Seems like they probably take care of themselves.
Okay. It's relatively confident, and they take the time to take care of themselves, and they have friends. So okay.
Yeah. And I think as you are making your way up, he would probably immediately have noticed the two of you enter, and may not have done anything to begin with, but would pretty quickly want to introduce himself.
Okay.
Especially clocking that you all are kindred as well, because that's it's not something that
Happens in a
seen
small
around
town
here.
every day.
Yeah, exactly. So he comes over and introduces himself as Robert Warrington. And he does say, you've probably heard of me. I'm pretty big on social media, really.
Okay.
Kind of a big deal.
I just has Calibri ever heard of it?
Trying to think of what the appropriate role here would be. You know what? I'm gonna say yes, probably. I won't even make you roll. I'll say yes.
Okay. And it's so funny because like he's a person. I don't care at all, but I just does Calibri have more followers than he does? If he's saying he's a big deal on social media.
I think you're probably about on the same level.
Okay. Well, that is she very carefully tries not to look like Kindred on her socials, obviously.
Right.
So she's not gonna point that out. But there is like internally a little like, okay. Because he doesn't recognize her.
Right.
Oh, I are you? I have never heard of you before. I don't I don't always get on the how you say the TikToks and the Facebooks a lot.
Oh, yeah. I'm really more popular on Instagram. Don't really get into the TikTok thing. It's not really my scene.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fair. I don't do a lot of Instagram. The photos can get a little interesting. I think one might say. I tried it once though. It was interesting. I got a few thousand likes. Whatever.
A few thousand, just casually.
She just wants to see the reaction. She wants to get a vibe for what this person is like. Because they're like, hey, you should have heard from me. I'm on social media. So she wants to see how far that vibe goes and if he's like competitive.
Yeah. I would say give me probably manipulation and gosh, I'm going to say intimidation here because it may not be the traditional form of intimidation, but I definitely feel like that's what Calibri is trying to do.
You are big dogging him.
Yeah.
This is I'm like, yeah, well, this is my character that has that stuff, so we'll see how this. Oh, damn. The dice were like, I got you, because that is a critical success.
Amazing. Yeah, this is how social media influencers do combat.
Yeah, this is why people are like, influencer? No, content creator, not influencer.
Yeah,
Or that's a different.
Yeah, this is where he starts taking that aggravated willpower damage. Yeah. So, how many successes total did you have?
It was the two. It was the two critical success. So it was one critical success. This one.
Yeah. So that's still 4 successes. That's still pretty good. Yeah. He's just like, what?
Oh, is that the lot? I thought that was not.
I've never even heard of you. Who are you?
Oh, nobody important. Not very big. Obviously, you did not recognize me, so I'm obviously, maybe someday though, if I ever decide to pull it back out, we get some more followers. But don't worry too much about it. I am, originally from, Italy. The circles socially that come up are a little bit different for that algorithm thing. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah. Is that? I mean, what's your?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need to get into all that. Why are you here in the middle of nowhere?
I mean, it sounds like maybe I should follow you. I don't know.
Well, yeah, obviously you should, but why are you here?
Oh yeah.
I think at this point, sorry, I was saying, at this point, Emerson is like just moves to stand next to Calibri, just being like, I am with her. It's like one of those things where Emerson is not the most intimidating figure, but Nosferatu do have a reputation anyway, so for what it's worth, she's at least just going to be like, I am here also.
And he's just like, oh, who are you? Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter.
we're just passing through. We just, on our way to Indianapolis. And we thought that we would stop here. It seemed nice with all of the corn and the one traffic signal.
Yeah, I hope you didn't have plans in Indy, because you're not getting there.
We're not getting there. Is there a road closure? Did some cows cross the freeway?
People don't leave Willerton.
All right, you're gonna have to expound on that one.
Like it's a really nice town, and nobody wants to leave.
So, because of your intimidation, your social media clout that you pulled on him, he seems to be giving you maybe a little bit more than he would otherwise, just because he's a little bit intimidated by this. And he's just like, I mean, I've tried to make the trip myself a few times, and I'll get, a little ways away, and then I end up back here. No matter how far I drive, I end up back here.
I'm sorry, what do you mean you just suddenly appear back here, or you drive and then you are coming into this town again? She looks like she's kind of looking at him closer, like, was there something in the last person you ate?
He does not look to be high or drunk. Yeah, he just says, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I know that I was following GPS. There's no reason I should have ended up back here. I just can't seem to get out. So I just figured I'd make the best of it. Sorry, what was that?
How long ago has this started?
I mean, I've been here for a couple of years now, and haven't been able to leave since.
You and your friends over there too, or just you?
No, everybody. No one leaves.
Calibri gets really tense because this literally might be her worst nightmare. This might be worse than following the contract with. She used to leave sometimes. I'm sorry. You said 2 years?
At least. I mean, small town, don't really pay that much attention. I could have been longer.
Then how come the town is not overflowing with people then, when the people were driving through over and over again? Wouldn't they eventually end up, wouldn't the town get flooded with people, or wouldn't they run out of resources?
Well, you see, people come through and then they just kind of disappear. But we're far enough off the main roads that not a lot of people come through here.
Did you ever meet a kindred named Everett York?
Hey, don't say that word so loud.
Cleavy raises an eyebrow.
A sibling then named Everett York?
Yeah. He was poking around not that long ago.
Yeah, and then
Really?
do you know? So you know he's dead.
Well, aren't we all?
Dead.
Oh,
Like sat too long in the sun and got a sunburn, kind of dead.
shit. No, I didn't know that. Well, that sucks for him.
Does it seem like his surprise there is genuine?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Are there many other family in this little town?
There's a couple of us, but no, it's mostly these ones.
And are there any other people with special abilities or gifts?
Oh, you mean the wolves? Yeah. No, don't worry. They don't really come here.
Maybe they know better.
That does seem like it. But what kind of thing would force people to stay? Okay, so in the setting, do vampires know that mages exist?
Probably some kindred know, but they're not as well known.
'Cause it's not super common knowledge, right?
Yeah, especially in like V5, it's not as much of a thing since there's not like a mage book yet. Maybe one day. But I mean, they exist. People know. Some people know that they exist, but probably all of you, being young-ish kindred, wouldn't be super familiar.
Okay.
I think Arthur with the 2 dots of occult would be the one who would maybe know a little bit, but probably more rumors than anything solid.
And Calibri's gonna pull out her phone and text Arthur. Just, is there anything that could cause people to not be able to leave a place that you know of?
Arthur texts back, capitalism, question mark?
Calibri kind of like rolls her eyes. That is not exactly what I meant. I meant not to be able to physically leave a place. It's like some sort of, I don't know, magic or something. And there's like magic with like 10 question marks. Like, is that a thing? Like, I'm a vampire and there's werewolves over there and we just talked to a bird. So like, I'm not going to rule it out, but that sounds really strange.
Should I roll intelligence occult?
Yeah, let's do it. And Miss Janice, I would like you to please roll another wits awareness, which I realize is not great for you. So, good luck.
3 successes.
Oh, you have definitely heard of mages. You have probably never met one, similar to like the were-ravens that you've heard about them. I think that you would be pretty confident that they do exist. Maybe you've even seen some strange things that could have been from mages, but you've never been able to confirm it.
Gotcha, okay. I mean, text back. Well, we're vampires. But yes, there's the magic. So I guess they could stop us from... How are they stopping people from leaving? And
Also, I will say...
Miss Janet as they're walking.
Also, I will say, I think you would especially know that Geru have their own sort of form of magic. Not quite as potent or as, I guess, versatile as mages, but they do have their own sort of magical abilities that are comparable, but sometimes even a little bit beyond what Kindred can do.
Okay. We'll pass that along as well.
Yeah. And Miss Janice, what did you get?
1 success.
Okay. So because you did, you're usually sort of looking out, you hear some noise as you are approaching this church. You hear whispered voices and footsteps nearby.
Inside the church or just near it?
It's hard to tell.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell Arthur to go around to the back of the church, and I'm going to head toward the front doors and try to open them.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Arthur will do that and sneak. Well, like stealth. And as soon as Miss Janice sort of clues them into that there's a threat, it's like a switch flips or a mask changes, and they like go from like still soothing themselves to like they sort of not sort of. They reach in their pocket and pause their music and undo the cords from their headphones. The headphones are still in because they're IAMs like mine.
Right.
But now they're basically just earplugs for like really loud noises, and they can hear.
Sure.
They're vampires, so they can still hear well. And suddenly, like, are low to the ground and creep off into the shadows, and switch on that survival ex-soldier now vampire vibe of like, hey, this thing I'm good at. I know how to do this.
So, Miss Janice, as you are going around the church, you are jumped by several people, and I need you to roll strength and brawl, please.
Oh boy.
Oh no! It just that. Oh my gosh! I said never go to church. Not what I meant. But like the church in the small town that's haunted is. There's always.
Certain movie out there with cornfields and whatnot. The church was also pretty important, so
You just gotta be careful.
yeah.
Possible bestial failure.
Oh no. Any successes?
One.
One? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is a bestial failure then. Okay, so how would your Malkavian traits sort of come out as you are in this very intense situation? So we talked about like the psychic link between you and other Malkavians in situations similar to this, but do you want to tell us a little bit about what that's like for you?
To be honest, I have not thought that far.
That's
The only thing I got is I imagine Arthur and I get along very well. And because we are linked, I sort of start shouting off alarm bells in my head, trying to get Arthur's attention
Right.
to come around and save me.
So you're trying to do that, and Arthur, you get, a little bit of that feedback, but it's muffled by the sounds of thousands of other Malkavians all talking at the same time.
Do I hear the sound of the struggle, like, audibly?
Give me a wits awareness roll. And Miss Janice, you have 3 humans who have now wrapped you up with rope around your arms and your waist and have put a gag in your mouth and are starting to carry you away.
Huh, okay. Just want this. Am I able to activate my heightened senses for this?
Sure. I believe you have to make a rouse check for that.
It says the cost is free.
Oh, okay. So
am
then
I
you
required
won't
to use
even
a
have
willpower
to-
to use it for long periods.
Oh, yeah. This wouldn't be a prolonged period, so yeah, you can do it
So, what's
for free.
Awareness? I'm good at that. Awareness is in my S, and then heightened senses +2. So it's 7. That is 6 successes.
Damn. Yeah, you hear the sound of the struggle very audibly, even with all of these other Malks in your head talking at the same time. It's probably very overstimulating, I would imagine, all of this at once. Which, to an extent, you hear a lot of this all the time anyway, but it's a little bit more intense than usual. And yeah, if you're, I'm assuming, going to go investigate.
We're full tilt.
Yeah. So you come around the church and you see Miss Janice bound and gagged, being carried away by 3 humans in brown robes, faces covered by hoods. Would you let the others know?
I don't have. I get. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Instinctive reaction.
Yeah.
Contact with enemy. Send up message. Rescue teammate. Rescue friend.
Yeah. What do you send to the group?
I will. Just because it's faster than sending a message, I will just text them a photo. I will just snap a photo and send that to the group of what I'm seeing before.
Hey, here's a picture of this kidnapping.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I could type out brown robes bet, or I could just be like, click send. Okay, now dealing with these guys.
Even though I don't think this is how it would have happened, in my head, it's a lot funnier to imagine that Arthur like takes a selfie with Miss Janice being kidnapped in the background.
And now a fun
Just
one.
because it's ridiculous.
Oh my god. A silly one.
Fantastic.
So back at the shop, getting that text, Calibri looks down and sees information is like getting uneasy and starts writing like C chow. And then like as she's about to send, as she hits send, she sees the photo. And so she just sends that, then sees the photo, and then she looks around, and before anyone can blink, she is gone. She uses her what's this called?
Celerity.
Yeah, anyway, she uses the celerity, so
Yeah.
she is just gone. Hopefully fast enough that the humans are just like, I thought there was another person. Like, and we're just like, oh, I don't know where she went.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Emerson just standing there alone, like, I'm gonna go. Wait, Emerson would check her phone and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go.
The group
And that
chat
is a great
just has
for us to end.
kidnap photo CC, and then like
Amazing. Yeah, that is a fantastic place to end this session with that dramatic cliffhanger. We will definitely have to have a part 2 because I absolutely have to work in the morning. And
I feel
would-
great about where we are right now.
What a
my
great
goodness,
Not at all worried.
yeah, no, I think we're gonna be fine. Honestly,
just
I don't
no
really see what could
problems
go wrong.
whatsoever.
We could just get stuck here forever,
Yeah, totally fine.
and
Totally
nothing
fine.
can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
Right? Every time. All right. Yeah. Does anybody have anything that they want to plug before we head out?
I did my plugs at the beginning.
I mean, come join if you are not watching the stuff for Pride Revolution or around those times. If you want to come join us, we have shows tomorrow. We have Exalted 3E, and then we have Saturday and Sunday. We have games on ADH Adventures. You can see on our schedule and socials. And if you so choose and would like and are interested and like we saw tonight or have seen our channel before, consider voting for us for Best Legacy Twitch channel in the Crit Awards. So
Absolutely.